Hey guys, it's RunBear22 again, here to bring you another SH Figuarts review and unboxing. And today I have not one, but two Dragon Ball Z SH figures. So we have right here a Trunks and Vegeta figure, and these are not just your average figures, these are the re-release with premium color. So this is the Trunks Premium Color Edition, as well as the Vegeta Super Saiyan Premium Color Edition. So, for those of you who do not know, these figures were re-released by Tamashii Nations, solely on the fact that both Trunks and Vegeta were possibly the most highly coveted figures in the Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts line. So, I guess as an excuse to release them once more, they gave them a new color palette. Or not really, well, you know, an updated color palette. So, yeah, basically gave them the excuse to re-release Trunks and Vegeta, father and son, the duo, together. Yeah, these guys were really popular, and unfortunately for me, I wasn't able to get a hold of the original figures when they came out because I didn't start getting into SH Figuarts until after they had already had their run. So, unfortunately, I didn't get the original figures. However, this gave me the perfect opportunity to pick them up at a relatively cheap price. I never thought in 1,000 years I would get both Trunks and Vegeta for less than $200, quite frankly, because these things are so highly coveted right now that even the bootlegs are going for an insane price. Like, I think the Detong, there's a Detong Super Saiyan Vegeta that was going for about $500. That's how much, or that's how popular these guys are on the market. So if you can get them, definitely pick them up before they go all out. Otherwise, you will be paying at least $500 for one of these. So, I figured, since Vegeta is my favorite, I would do him last, and I would take a look at the Trunks figure. So yes, let's take a look at Trunks, or SH Figuarts Trunks Premium Color Edition. Alright, so let's take a look at Trunks Premium Color Edition. So, this is basically the standard stuff we've already seen on the SH Figuarts boxes. You got all the logos on here. You got everything with the Tamashii Nations logo, the Bandai logo, Dragon Ball Z logo, Warning logo, Bandai Collector's Shop logo. I don't think I've mentioned that before. Maybe I did. I don't remember all the logos I talk about. We also have a Toei Animation license, giving it the full seal of approval. Again, we got this nice graphic of Trunks here on the side. On the back here, we got, again, Trunks in various different poses. So we have him in his Super Saiyan mode here. We have him in his base form. Whatever that is. We have, again, more text here explaining the articulation and the greatness of this figure, of all these figures, pretty much. Anyway, yeah. So, why don't we crack open Trunks? I'm actually, again, really happy that I was able to get this figure because the original one that came out, I don't know, like a few years ago, year or 2 years ago, it flew fast, both this one and Vegeta, and I never got a hold of the original figures, so, or the original Trunks or Vegeta. So I'm very happy that this time around, I was able to get my hands on this figure. So let's just lure you down there. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright, so here we have the Trunks. If I can get it out. There we go. So we got the Trunks figure right here. Looks really awesome. It's been a while since I've opened up a new SH Figuarts figure, Tamashii Nations figure, whatever. Right off the bat, I can tell that the sculpting is amazing, as usual. Everything is here from Trunks' original design from the show. So as you can see here on the corner, or on the edge, if you'll zoom in. Please zoom in, man. Come on. Don't be like that. There we go. You can see the Capsule Corp logo right there. Again, it's not really focusing too well. Maybe it's actually because of the light. But yeah, got that on his shoulder there. There's no bicep swivel. I noticed like a lot of the figures have bicep swivel, but he doesn't. So, it doesn't matter. I don't really care about that. The hair, the paint job looks really nice. The shading here in the roots right there. We also have, if you look carefully at the face sculpt, it looks really good. It's nice, clean, and precise. Everything you should expect from Tamashii Nations / SH Figuarts. Now, since I do not or have not owned the original Trunks, I can't really compare the paint job to the original, but from what people have told me, the only real difference they seem to notice was the Super Saiyan hair. But we will get into that in a second. But also, here's his boots right there. Again, they got ankle joints, so you can move those around, mess around. I believe that doesn't turn. Okay, so the base of this thing there. Okay, that makes sense actually. Knee joints are covered up with another plate of pant material, I guess. So yeah, okay, that covers that stuff up. That's good. I really appreciate when they do that. It gets really annoying when you can see the joints like this on the knees. The arms, again, they're a little exposed. They're a little skinny here. So you can see the joints and you can see the separation between the two arm parts here. So that's a little bit glaring, but you know, I don't mind. Fists. So this figure automatically comes with the fist. Hands attached. Jacket looks really cool. There's also a little peg here, which I assume is for the sword. But yeah. So that's the figure. Now why don't we take a look at the accessories themselves. Alright, let's take a look at what really interests me, which is the sword accessories that we have here. So, of course, we have Trunks' signature Tapion sword right here. The sculpt on this is amazing. It's a small piece, but man, was there a lot of effort put into this. The blade metal, the paint used for the blade, looks freaking fantastic. There are different shades of gray here to show the, you know, a different type of metal. So obviously you got a more crisp, I guess, I don't want to say sparkly, but I guess you can say sparkly bit of metal for the blade. And then the hilt itself is a duller, more base gray. The handle is, again, just basic plastic. Again, the hilt here, brown for the strap. I mean, like, honestly, this sword, like, it's a tiny piece. Usually parts that are this small on figures don't have this much detail on them, but there is a significant amount of detail in just this one piece, and I'm really impressed about that. That's the one thing I love about SH Figuarts. They put a lot of effort in their pieces. So, yeah. We also have a separate cut-off hilt here, and that actually goes into the sheath part here. So, you know, you don't put the actual sword inside the sheath here. You just insert the hilt here, just like that. And that's mostly because you don't want to stick this into the sheath and scrape up the plastic or the paint of the actual sword. And you want to keep that looking nice. So that makes sense. The sheath itself is very cool. I mean, nothing too outstanding. I mean, the metal used for the ends here on the sheath, again, is a nice metallic color here. Same with the clip. Also, we will get into the issue behind this little piece, because I've heard some stuff about it, and not very good stuff, so I'll mention that later. But essentially, yes, this just goes over Trunks and sticks into his back. But I'll show that off later. Damn it! Ah! God, I keep scrubbing it. Alright, so now let's look at the face pieces. So here, for an alternative base form face piece, we have a clenched teeth for powered down Trunks. For Super Saiyan, we have his Super Saiyan hair sculpt, again with this nice glossy golden yellow, which again is different from the original release of Trunks, which was a bit more of a flat yellow, but this one's actually a nice glossy golden paint application, so that's really cool. But as I said, for the Super Saiyan face, we basically just have a stationary, docile smirk or frown, whatever that is. We also have a Super Saiyan clenched facial feature here, as well as a, I guess a sinister smile, I don't know what you call that. What do you call that? For hand pieces, we have our Ki Blast hands right here. We have some martial arts style hands. We have sword holding hands for, again, both left and right. And we have karate chop hands. So, hwacha. So for all it's worth, this figure is awesome. It's great, its sculpt is wonderful. Again, the paint job on most of these parts are really well done, and it's overall a really great figure. However, there is one issue that unfortunately lingers with specifically this Trunks figure that apparently it had issues with in its original release. And unfortunately, it also carries over to this one as well. Now, what specific issue am I talking about? Well, I have heard complaints about this scabbard piece in particular. There is a peg, like I mentioned before, that sticks into the back of this figure. And unfortunately, there have been issues with it breaking off when trying to remove the scabbard. And I'm going to have to make a confession here, guys. This isn't the first Trunk figure I have. Now, I'm not saying that I own the original figure. No, I did have another premium... hold on. Just hoping you'll stand there. I did have another premium Trunks figure that I was reviewing. That was just like this one. Unfortunately, I made a mistake. If I just grab it right here, I made the same mistake that people were talking about. So this is the other premium Trunks, or premium colored edition Trunks that I had, and I was going to review. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of breaking the scabbard. As you can see here, it moves freely around, and that is because once you remove the scabbard, that pin's not there. I had to glue the strap back onto the sheath, and as you can clearly see, there's some messy paint here from that process because I used super glue. If you look at the back, the peg is stuck in his back right there, and you can see a mess of super glue all over it. Yes, I messed this figure up really bad. It's to the point where I did not want to review it, so I ended up buying a new one. So let this be a lesson to you. These figures are delicate. They are delicate with certain parts. Not all of them are necessarily delicate, but with figures like these that have small accessories, you have to watch out with what you're doing with them, because if you're not, well, you make the mistake I did, and you break something. So yes, I will be careful with this one. I'm going to try my best not to excessively slap it on and remove it. I'm going to probably put it on and leave it on. I mean, this Trunks rarely takes that scabbard off. This sword is with him all the time, so I don't feel it's really necessary to remove it too often. But yes, essentially that's what you need to watch out for. I will say, for this broken figure, however, the fact that I broke the pin actually helped a little bit with something else. The one that does have the pin, it sort of angles the scabbard in a way that prevents the other end of the strap from attaching properly, because I don't know, like it doesn't quite fit around Trunks's torso, so it does come out sometimes. But I did find actually with the damaged one that because the pin isn't, you know, holding it in a specific place, it connects just fine, and you know, there's a bit more less stress on the strap. So I guess that's one good thing that came out of this. You know, hey, I got a Super Saiyan Trunks and a base form Trunks. to compare on my shelf. So that's, again, I guess, you know, there's some good that came out of it. Money-wise, it certainly wasn't good, but, you know, it's still live and learn, as they say. But yes, this is a really awesome figure, and regardless of the issue I had, more or less based on my stupidity, mostly, it is a great figure. And yes, the issue it has is a rather stubborn one, and it's annoying, and yeah, but you know, you have to deal with that, and I learned the hard way. But regardless, I'm still happy with this figure. I will give it, I guess, a 9 out of 10 for that one minor issue with the scabbard. But regardless, I think I said that word twice. Maybe I should stop being repetitive here. It's a great figure. It's awesome. I love it. 9 out of 10. What am I doing? Anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough. I'm tired. I want to go to bed, and I want to get this video up as soon as possible. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for my Vegeta unboxing, which will be coming up shortly here. So yes, if you enjoyed this video, please comment, like, and share. Please do all that. It really helps me out a lot. It helps this channel out. It helps me put more stuff up for you guys, and I'd like to do more of that. Of course. So yes, please comment, like, share, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.